Released on PlayStation 4 last year to critical acclaim, The King of Fighters 14 didn't get the attention it deserved from the general public. Launching with 50 characters and over 20 stages, content-wise it put Street Fighter V to shame. It played just as well too, prioritising a smooth frame rate and responsive gameplay over visual flair, although the eye candy was enhanced sometime after launch via a patch. But life just isn't fair at times, and as a result, The King of Fighters 14 shifted around a fifth of the copies that Street Fighter V managed to put out. Well, now it's available on Steam in the form of the King of Fighters 14 Steam Edition, and hopefully it can win over a few more fans. Whilst the name of the game has been changed slightly, the King of Fighters 14 Steam Edition is essentially the same game as the PlayStation 4 version. It's got all the same characters, stages, features and modes, with the only new additions being of course some visual options for you to tinker with. As ports go then, it's a pretty basic one, but one that's been pulled off well. The King of Fighters 14's roster of fighters has always been one of its strong points, and in this Steam edition they've never looked better. On max settings, every one of the game's pugilists are impressively detailed and wonderfully animated, truly bringing them to life. The stages don't look too bad either, although they aren't going to set your world on fire. The best thing though is that performance is rock solid, with no noticeable frame rate drops or hiccups spoiling the fun, and load times are rather fast too. While everything is rendered in 3D, the King of Fighters 14 takes the gameplay back to its 2D roots. Battles are generally team based, with you selecting 3 fighters to take into battle before assigning them an order. You then fight one on one, with the losing character being switched out with another team member until all 3 team members of a team have been defeated. There's no tagging in your team members when you're low on health allowed here, I'm afraid. Some modes, however, do let you engage in standard one-on-one action. Online rank matches and the game's story mode are both 3-on-3 only, with online free matches and versus mode giving you the option. That leaves the game's time attack, survival and multiple practice-based modes as being strictly one-on-one affairs. Unlike the recent trend of fighting game story modes being cinematic epics, the King of Fighters 14 just offers you a straight up chain of 10 bouts, with a handful of story scenes thrown in that don't change no matter which characters you choose. That may be a bit disappointing for some, but I didn't particularly mind. I'd rather be fighting and enjoying myself than watching some cringe-worthy video scenes for the nth time. When it comes to the actual act of fighting, King of Fighters 14 offers nearly unlimited fun. Taking the action back to its 2D roots is the best thing that SNK and Abstraction Games could have ever done, as it plays wonderfully. Combat is fast and fluid and well balanced. Features such as Rush, which allows you to pull off extended flashy combos by mashing the light punch button, means it's easy to pick up and play, but those who put in the time to master its advanced mechanics will find their efforts rewarded. Cancels, evasions, blowbacks, and 3 types of super moves can quickly turn the tide of battle in the right hands. It all makes for a game that's accessible to all, but more rewarding for those who spend time discovering its intricacies. On PlayStation 4, the King of Fighters 14 was impressive, and on PC it's even more so. Being frank, I think it's the best 2D fighter out there, all things considered. Some may balk at the price given that it's not much more than a simple port, but there's a lot of content here, and it's a hell of a lot of fun to play. So if you're after a great looking fighting game, and have the courage to move away from the more well known franchises such as Street Fighter and Tekken, the King of Fighters 14 Steam Edition will certainly not disappoint.